Okay, so we got it's like 20 options of different flavors and different brands of energy drinks. So as a society, we're definitely addicted. With the promise of increasing energy, productivity, and focus, these energy drinks seem to give you that extra boost when a coffee isn't enough. In an age of instant gratification, where time is money and money is time, there just never seems to be enough time in a day to get everything we want done. We work more, sleep less, and energy drinks help us achieve this. For decades, coffee has been our preferred beverage of choice when it comes to satisfying our caffeine addiction. However, since the early 2000s, the popularity of the energy drink industry has been on the rise, and they continue to grow at an alarming rate. Red Bull continues to dominate the market, but Monster Energy is quickly catching up. As of 2018, Red Bull topped off at $4.6 billion in sales, while Monster was closely behind at $4.1 billion. And this is just in the US alone. Worldwide, Red Bull sold 6.7 billion cans in 2018. Multiply this by the $2 to $3 price tag that comes with these cans, and you can see why they're so successful. Despite their popularity, energy drinks have got a bad rap when it comes to the health risks associated with them. Do energy drinks really give you wings, or are they sending us to an early grave? So this week I wanted to explore and talk about the energy drink industry. Now this has been gaining a lot of momentum and popularity recently in the past decade or so, as energy drinks like Red Bull and Monster have become pretty much mainstream to the youth and more younger generations now. Now, the topic of energy drinks arose a couple weeks ago when I posted an Instagram picture of one of my pre-workout meals. This is usually comprised of some type of healthy carb source like a rice cake, a high protein source, low fat like egg whites, and some type of caffeine source like black coffee or an energy drink. And I got a lot of feedback for that picture. It was really interesting because a lot of the feedback was on two complete opposite ends of the spectrum. And the idea or the general consensus about energy drinks was very polarizing, where a lot of people were saying like, yeah, I love those Monster energy drinks, or they give me like a really good boost of energy and concentration for my workouts, while other people were like, why would you drink that? Isn't that bad for you? Oh my God, there's so much sugar and chemicals and it's just terrible for you to consume. This made me want to investigate energy drinks further and see if they really were harmful to your body if you consume them. These energy drinks do have a bad stigma associated with them, as I think it's mainly because of the ingredients list is comprised of a whole bunch of really long scientific chemical names that most normal people can't even pronounce or have no idea what they really are. Now, the interesting part of this is that basically everything is comprised of chemicals, even something like a simple banana or a fruit. If you look at the ingredients list of a banana, it is pretty scary. And if you were to ask an average person if they would consume the ingredients of the banana without showing them what the actual fruit was, you would kind of be surprised at their reaction and response. All right, we're going to ask someone if they would consume something like this. Hey bro, would you eat a food if it contained all these ingredients?
Water, sugars.
Would you eat that?
It sounds scary. So
because of all the chemical names?
Probably not.
Alright, swipe to the right.
No way. Banana?
Yeah, it's a banana, right? Those were all the natural ingredients in a banana.
But they sound so scary though.
Right? The most common topic that comes up whenever I talk about energy drinks with people is that they are unnatural or synthetic. Now, I think that the argument of something being natural being good for you and unnatural being bad kind of doesn't apply in this situation, as all things that are natural aren't good for you. For example, like this bag of cashew clusters. Cashews are a type of nuts that occur in nature and they are natural. But if I were to eat these, they would kill me because of my allergy. And the only way I could save myself would be the use of my EpiPen, which is synthetic or unnatural. It's basically just the epinephrine that's derived from adrenaline. So in this situation, something natural would kill me, whereas something unnatural would save my life. So that type of argument, it kind of doesn't really apply. It's a little short-sighted because the topic is more complicated than that. Now, I think that the best way to approach this problem is basically looking over three things. The first being who is consuming these products. The second is what are the ingredients. And the third, and being the most important, is what is the dosage. As the dosage is usually the biggest indicator of if something is toxic or poison to you or not. So for example of the white monster that I talked about earlier, if you were to sit down in one sitting and try to chug like 50, 100, 200 cans of this in one sitting, you're more than likely will die to like dying to water toxicity. It's just as much as you dying to any of these chemicals or so-called chemicals listed on the ingredients list. When I went to the store and picked up a Monster and a Red Bull, I looked at the ingredients list and there was 4 chemicals that really stuck out to me. That was niacin, pyridoxine, cobalamin, and pantothenate. If you were to look up these 4 words online, that basically means vitamin B3, B6, B12, and B5. And these are basically all water-soluble vitamins. So even if you were to consume a high dosage of them, the only thing that's really going to happen is you're going to have really expensive pee. Now the next ingredient or chemical that a lot of people are wary about is taurine. Now basically if you were to look up taurine, it is actually an amino acid supplement. It's an anti-inflammatory, it's an antioxidant, and it can actually decrease insulin sensitivity. Now say in a can of Monster, it does look kind of scary because it does contain 2,000 milligrams of taurine. But there are studies out there to suggest that an upper threshold of 3,000 milligrams of taurine per day, every single day for the rest of your life is still safe. So in order for you to go over that threshold, you would have to drink 2 cans of this type of drink every single day for the rest of your entire life. And that's just to break the barrier of being safe. So it's not a problem. So now that we got all those synthetic or unnatural chemicals out of the way, let's take a look at the 3 most important problems that come from energy drinks. And that is consuming the sugar, caffeine, and the artificial sweeteners. Now obviously sugar is bad. As a society, we're all addicted to it. We eat too much sugar, everything is coated in sugar, and it's really hard to put down once you get a taste for it. But in terms of consuming an energy drink to get some type of boost in energy for your pre-workout or for your gym session, you're basically drinking an extra 200 calories for no reason. The whole point of going to the gym is you want to burn calories. And you don't want to be consuming calories just to get your energy up for your workout. It's just counterintuitive. So just forget all the sugar versions, just don't even bother, just stick with the diet. So now that we've established that we're going to stick with the diet versions of these drinks, let's tackle the next subject of artificial sweeteners. Now in one of these Monsters, the artificial sweeteners it contains is 118 milligrams of sucralose and 70 milligrams of ACE-K. Now I watched a video the other day and it basically broke down all the type of artificial sweeteners and the thresholds for you to go over the daily recommended dosage. And for ACE-K it was something like 16 cans of Monster, and for sucralose it was like 3 cans. And that is the amount of cans you would take every single day for the rest of your life. So as long as you're drinking these in moderation, you don't have to worry about artificial sweeteners at all. This leaves the last and most important ingredient that you gotta look out for, and that is caffeine. This may seem a little surprising as most people are usually wary of all the chemicals and synthetic ingredients, but as long as you skip the sugar version of these drinks, the only thing you really need to worry about is the caffeine content. Health Canada recommends a daily dosage of no more than 400 milligrams, and that can be really, really low if you aren't really careful. So to put that into context, if you were to go to, say, Tim Hortons and order 2 medium coffees, that's just around 400 milligrams of caffeine. So if you were to have a coffee in the morning, drink one of these Monsters in the afternoon, and then maybe have another coffee later, you're easily going to reach that 400 milligram threshold. So you gotta be really wary and careful of this limit. If you are like me and you really do enjoy a cup of coffee in the morning, then maybe you might have to try switching up to decaf on the days where you do consume an energy drink, just to watch your caffeine levels. Or what I started doing is, instead of buying these big cans of Monster, I started buying the smaller cans or just these Red Bull cans. So for example, this smaller Red Bull can contains about 80 milligrams of caffeine, while this larger one contains 137 grams. So if you are still worried about the caffeine content, definitely go for the smaller can, as I guess you could drink half of this and then save the other half for tomorrow, but I don't think I really know anyone that does that. And if you're still worried about the effects of these type of energy drinks, maybe try spreading out your consumption. So what I've been doing is I consume my energy drinks usually on Tuesdays and Fridays, and I have them 2 days a week. These are my 2 heavy days where I lift really heavy in the gym, and I find that consuming a sugar-free energy drink really helps my performance at the gym. But as long as you take these drinks in moderation, you are a healthy adult that isn't a pregnant woman, a developing teenager or a child or something like that, then having these drinks in small dosages in moderation should be fine, and enjoy them as you see fit. So hopefully you found this video informative, and I'll see you soon. Peace. So if you are going to pick up one of these energy drinks, you basically want to avoid all these ones here that have sugar, and just go for something over here, the diet version, as over the long run it's harmless to you. So today I'm just going to grab one of these white monsters and we're good to go.